Before we go today, there's something that I would love to share with you. Have you ever even imagined what it would be like to lose your home in a natural disaster? To literally go to bed at night and wake up the next morning to nothing but rubble. We go to all these disaster areas and I see what people are facing, and that is exactly what they are dealing with during these terrible storms and things. And this past year, 2018 in the U.S., was devastating for natural disasters. And during those tremendous times of loss, you have shared the love of God with so many people. I've seen it. I've been there. But you have been there too. You have become the hands and feet of Christ, meeting so many of those needs during that critical time. So take a look at this, and I'll be back in a few minutes to share with you some amazing opportunities to reach the lost and the hurting.
There are no words for the feeling to be one of these people that you see on TV. Going through something like this, and then people, total strangers, coming to your aid. They just came out to do what they could do to help us and bring us supplies. I don't have the vocabulary to express my gratitude.
The United States was battered by multiple unprecedented natural disasters in 2018, from deadly wildfires in California to devastating Category 4 hurricanes. The Carr Fire in Northern California, in and around Redding, ignited last summer and took 5 weeks to contain. 8 people died, nearly 230,000 acres were burned, and more than 1,000 homes destroyed. And through your prayers and generous donations, you were there. Hand of Hope, the outreach arm of Joyce Meyer Ministries, in partnership with other ministries, gave $1,000 in emergency funds to each of the more than 750 families who lost their home in that devastating fire. You helped turn people's overwhelming despair and loss into an opportunity to show God's love and faithfulness. In Southern California, the Woolsey Fire began in November, killing 3 people, burning more than 96,000 acres, and destroying more than 1,600 homes and businesses in Los Angeles and Ventura counties. Agora Hills and nearby Cornell were hard hit. Hand of Hope, through our partnership with the Los Angeles Dream Center, sent volunteers and supplies to help fire victims get back on their feet. And again, you were there making a difference.
It was like a 20-foot wide blowtorch coming right up this canyon on the house, on this structure when I left. It had already gone over the wall and was burning the house. And flames were everywhere.
I went through the ashes with one of the ladies that lived there, helped her collect her valuables, try to find things of meaningful remembrance of yesterday. It was an experience I will never forget. And what we experienced recently in Thousand Oaks and Aurora Hills is one of the most remarkable tragedies I've seen with the fires. I didn't know what it really was like until you go there and you literally see a community of Seminole Springs, a mobile park of 110 homes that were burned down. It's like looking at a city that has been completely wiped out. Many of them don't have insurance, so they're going to have a lot of need.
Really, we're just looking for anything of value, and of course to the homeowner, like everything's of value, so no matter what you put into the sifter, when you shake it out, just even the tiniest thing like a bead or portion of a necklace, we're just saving right over into this area right here.
So we're out here in Agoura Hills sandbagging because they're expecting about 3 inches of rain in the 2 to 3 days. As you can see all the hills around here, there's no vegetation to stop that rain from just creating massive, potentially massive mudslides.
God, we just lift up our dear sister right now, Lord. And in every circumstance, God, just let you be known that
I want to thank Joyce Meyer Ministries and Hand of Hope for all that you've done to allow us to be what we want to be, and that is a servant to the people that have been affected by the fires. Thank you. Every single time there's a need, you have stepped up.
These guys in the blue shirts stayed the longest and worked the hardest. And they were there all day long. I wish there was a better word than thank you. That's all we have.
Hurricane Florence made landfall last September, claiming the lives of 53 people and causing severe damage. High winds, record-breaking rainfall, and strong storm surge devastated much of the North and South Carolina coastlines. New Bern, North Carolina and its surrounding communities were some of the hardest hit areas.
I'm hearing from some of the citizens this has probably been the worst in terms of the storm surge and flooding that they've ever experienced.
Our partners made it possible for Hand of Hope to spring immediately into action. Working with God's Pit Crew, 8 Days of Hope, and other organizations, you brought help and hope to the region, providing truckloads of water, food, blankets, personal hygiene items, and cleaning supplies, along with volunteers to begin the cleanup process.
Joyce Meyer Ministries, who came in today with this truckload of all these provisions that you see behind me here, have been a great blessing to Beaufort County here. And so the crew we have assembling some things, they're going to put it together, and then as families drive through here, we're going to put it in their trunk, which prayerfully going to help them to kind of recover.
In New Bern, North Carolina, dozens of volunteers loaded up their vehicles with supplies and headed out to some of the most hard-hit areas in their city. They went door to door, bringing hope, much-needed provisions, and prayer to people who have lost so much. In times like these, your giving does so much to encourage and provide hope. Your special gift right now will help people to not only recover from natural disasters like these, but to receive medical care, fresh water, a good, nourishing meal, and so much more. Please contact us right now and give the gift of hope. Thank you for caring.
There's a Bible in here, which is the most important thing. There's toiletries, some snacks, some cleaning supplies, some deodorant, all kinds of stuff in here. Okay? And there's also a letter from a family who put this bucket together.
Oh,
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Hopefully these blessing buckets and all these things can be an aid to help them see that people do really care about them, and and they're loved, they're valued, they're important.
We delivered a load this morning to Latitude Church, and before our driver could hardly get out of there, the product had been distributed. We're delivering those to many locations where people are in shelters. They need all those essentials to try to help get them through that. And those essentials, that's something we take for granted every day. Our toothbrush is always right there every morning. Hey, when you lose everything, you don't have that anymore.
We've got pretty much everything.
We've got some supplies, we've got some snacks, water, Gatorade.
Thank you.
This is what it's all about, the church coming together, putting our feet to the pavement, getting things out to the folks that are in desperate need, and taking Jesus, the hope of the world, to them. From Latitude Church and the other churches in our area, we are so appreciative of all that you've done. We couldn't do this because we don't have that kind of resources to get out to folks, and you guys have made it possible. Thank you for giving.
Prepare for what's about to hit us.
You are listening to 92.5 WPAP's hurricane coverage.
South of Highway 20, you're going to see police checkpoints and very solid traffic as people try to return back into the Panama City area.
In October, Hurricane Michael made landfall in the Florida Panhandle near Mexico Beach and Panama City. The Category 4 storm killed 43 people in Florida alone. It was the strongest hurricane to ever hit that area and the third strongest on record in the U.S.
I think the front porch had just left us. That breeze just started coming. It blew out the kitchen window. When it did, the house went to breathing, you know. And she felt it first, and I run in the hall, and when I felt both sides, I said, we got to go. I mean, you got to go. We come over to the church and made it inside of the church. Got inside the church, and the church was breathing. And this top was just, boo, boo, boo. It was just moving. It started, you see where it started falling. And it was falling in,
1900
excuse me.
Michigan Avenue, Panama City.
And then about that time, the back wall fell.
Pastor Eddie and his wife, Kenitha, lost their home, and their church was heavily damaged. Despite their losses, they became the central distribution center for supplies, food, water, and volunteers. Hand of Hope is joined with several relief organizations, including God's Pit Crew, Convoy of Hope, Springfield Community Church, and Mercy Chefs, a faith-based disaster relief cooking ministry to help people get their lives back to normal as quickly as possible.
There's a lot of destruction around where people are hurting and have needs. They look beyond themselves and look to the supernatural to provide because they came through something that could have taken their lives for sure. So it's a great opportunity to minister to them spiritually after you take care of their physical needs, because they certainly have to have food and a place to stay. And a lot of their places to stay are gone. Gone, just totally gone.
We are so blessed to be able to partner with Joyce Meyer's Ministries and Hand of Hope. You're providing an opportunity, a way for us to get in and make a huge difference to those people whose lives are impacted by these major natural disasters. And boy, what a time to show God's love and just give that cup of cold water in Jesus' name.
This is what the church is supposed to do. This is how, we're supposed to take care of other people. And this is how you do it. You can't wait for government. You can't wait or somebody else will do it. No, this is what we're supposed to do. We're taking care of those who can't take care of themselves.
I'll just put it this way. The same God that's provided for us for years saw this coming way before we did. Had people lined up like you guys, different ones, and providing for us now. And we'll get through it. We'll get through it.
Like I told you, I have seen it firsthand, and it is amazing what a difference we can make when we join together and reach out to people at the most difficult times in their lives, when they have often lost everything in a natural disaster. And when you give your special gift today, know that it will make a difference in so many ways. And not just in natural disasters. You can share the truth of God's love through our medical outreaches in some of the most remote places on earth, or help us to continue to drill fresh water wells, or restore women who've been rescued from human trafficking, and so much more. So we are inviting you to join us. Your special gift today toward all of our Hand of Hope missions outreaches. Hand of Hope is the outreach arm of Joyce Meyer Ministries. Your gift today will allow us to do so much more. But you can't always think about the big picture. Sometimes you just need to think about that one person. Think about how you would feel if your home was destroyed, and reach out to that one person who has that need today. All you need to do is to go online to joycemeyer.org or call the number on your screen and give that special gift that will make a huge impact on that one person's life today. Thank you so much.